Okay, so as you see, sitting there having some candid conversations about things that went on with the day, how everything got started, things changing hands, and so on and so forth. So let's continue with the next part.
Well, they go down and look, can't find this car. Well, right behind where the concession shack was on the pit side, which is the same pit side we're using, there was an open ditch with real tall cattails and stuff in there, and weeds and so anyway, wait, all of a sudden here's this guy come walking down the track. We see him walking
That's
down
a
the
bad
track.
sign.
That's a bad sign.
Yeah, and what happened was he lost control right there and went off into the weeds and rolled it into those weeds in the ditch. Nobody saw him. And I mean, the place was full. Nobody saw him. So all of a
Didn't they
sudden,
run evenings a lot there?
well, not a lot, but they did. They'd run, but didn't have any lights too. You got to
Yeah,
remember.
right.
So you'd pull the cars up and turn the headlights on. That didn't happen too often, but anyway, that's that one guy. We lost the car. Didn't know what the hell
Nobody
happened to
saw
it.
him disappear.
Nobody saw it, you know, or at least nobody that told us,
Uh-huh.
you know. And one big meet down there. I don't know how many cars they had in, maybe 300 race cars,
Oh,
something like
gosh.
that. Was amazing. Parked all over the place. They did run late at night. You know, they ran 3,000-4,000 people and through there as far as spectators and everybody. The place, I'm telling you, the place was packed a lot. You know, and,
Because for us to run 120 race cars, we'll usually have 300 show cars. We have no room.
yeah.
So,
Well, that one, the one
300
day,
race cars, holy crap.
yeah, I think the record down there was right when we first took it over again after when Ronnie got done. It was 131 race cars, and they were doubled up in the pit area, and then some over on the spectators.
Because we're doing a pass a minute, and that's about as fast as you can get them done.
Yeah,
That's a lot of minutes.
yeah, yeah.
Well, I'll do, I'll have 3.5 hours of edited footage for a video of each race.
Edited.
Edited.
Yeah, and that starts out as 12, 15 hours.
Probably about this pretty close to 5 hours, and just chopping out,
Oh.
waiting at the start line. So when they're running a pass a minute, it really is moving. I mean, you can see them like I have a camera at the finish line.
Yep.
And you literally have cars coming through every minute, and it's amazing because when they first started out, when Tom Kelly was doing the timing system, 2.5, 3 minutes for a pass,
Yeah.
and we were all right with that because we didn't know any different. That's just how it was.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And so when they start clicking them off, it's like, whoa, it's ready already, it's ready already, it's ready already, and it's like, great.
Yeah. Remember that we ran them pretty quick through there too. But again, it was a whole different dynamic because you were actually using a rule book, and you actually had classes, and then you had, if you had a protest, you pay your $30 or $25, and anyway, you had to tear that motor down
Right there in the
right there.
Oh,
Yeah.
man.
The
Oh,
guy,
yeah.
actually he worked for NHRA, was Bill Butler from Palmyra. Guy was a genius.
Okay.
I mean, he just, an automotive, I mean, he could just look at the outside of a motor and tell if you've been messing with it, and he would stand right there and watch them tear them down, and it happened every now and then you'd get a protest, so.
Yeah.
But,
At least $30 on you, and
yeah, that was it.
Out.
So,
I think I'd just go home. It
Yeah.
isn't worth the money.
no. Yeah, exactly. So, but you get some, there's guys there, and Gary will tell you, that this is even after Cicero opened, would drive by Cicero and come down and race in Butler.
We have that now.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So,
It's a good feeling.
yeah, it is. It makes you feel good. So, but that was, I can't think of any, on the way home I'll think of 10 different stories,
Oh, yeah.
but right
Well,
now.
it's funny, like what we do today. And one thing I noticed is just like when I was a kid, because Dad would take me down as a kid. I don't know, it's like make me shut up because I'm whining, you want to go to the races or something, and just sit and just prop me there just all day, back and forth. But there were regulars, okay?
Yeah.
But you never knew what was going to show up.
Right.
You see cars that weren't there the first 3 times I was there, and I mean, not just, farm boys checking out their, 354 barrel Malibu. Some heavy hitters coming down from who knows where. They're laying down some good numbers, and those local boys would hand them their ass. I mean, it was.
Yeah. We had one day there was a car come in, a flatbed came in, had a black '61 Pontiac on it, bubble top, gold top, pretty car, race car though. You could tell it wasn't a driver, daily driver, and takes it off there, no markings on it. No sponsor, nothing. Just a plain Jane car with a few decals on the windows. That was it. Come to find out, it was a C-stock automatic national record holder.
Probably one of the Swiss cheese cars.
It was 61.
421 Super Duty?
It was. I'm not sure what it was. To tell you the truth, it might have been a 389 with trips.
Okay.
But it was a C-stock national record holder. Of course, you never told him, but sort of fate or karma. He was going to come down and beat up on all the farm boys, right?
Yeah.
He gets on the night, launches, drops the drive shaft about 100 feet off the line. That was it. Loaded it back up, away he went. So, but another car show. I'm not sure if it was a Riot Squad or if it was another. It was a Dodge Dart, and he only saw it once. A couple of things I remember. It was one of the loudest cars I ever, small block, one of the loudest cars I ever heard down there. The other thing was he beat the dog shit out of everybody. He just, boom, spent the day there whipping up on us, left, never saw him again.
Wow.
Yeah.
Did you at least get to say what's special about this?
I don't know what it was.
Yeah,
But
14-to-1 compression on alcohol?
it could have been anything in
Yeah.
there, But it was a 67 or 68 Dart. And a 67 Dart. Yeah. So.
And I keep going back to your film because I've run through the thing half a dozen times. I see you had Bud Fauble down there with the honker.
Well,
How'd that turn out?
Stories I'm telling you are verified. Unless Bud Fauble was lying to me, one of the two. But anyway, you remember the super stock shows they used to have in York, Pennsylvania?
Yeah.
Like in the last few years?
Mm-hmm.
Well, big fan of super stock, went down to one of them. Well, there he is. Some of my heroes were like Roger Lindemood and, Color Me Gone. He wasn't there, but the car was. I missed Dick Landy. But standing there is Bud Fauble. Of course, got to go over, get a picture, get an autograph. Very personable guy. Come to find out, he was a pilot. I mean, a commercial pilot.
Okay.
Oh.
And anyway, so I told him where I was from and everything, and he remembered upstate New York.
Mm-hmm.
So he says that in the early '60s, they used to have the match race tours, and they would go to like a lot of the smaller tracks as PR.
Mm-hmm.
So they were in New York, and him and Garlitz were going to be coming upstate, and there was like, of course, Niagara, King or Jackson's, Cicero, and there was another one up here they were going to hit. So they had decided on two of them they didn't decide on, which was Cicero and Jackson. Flip the coin. Winner gets to go where you want. Garlitz won the toss. He chose Esta. But Fauble ended up at Jackson's with the '63 honker.
Now, I have somewhere in my computer a photograph of Don Garlitz at Cicero.
Well, that's the other half of the story.
Did he run there?
I don't know if he ran or not. I just had a photograph.
Okay.
But watching his film, I know that Bud took the car down the track at South Butler.
Could you imagine Don Garlitz at Butler?
Yeah.
He'd be in the woods.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, he'd be one that riding me up.
Right. Yeah, but that's what Fable told me, and you know, the guy, of course, his memory sharp as a tack, you know, but, said, yeah, those are great days, you know, and like you said, you never knew what would show up there. We had the local heroes like, the Orange Peel,
Yeah.
you know, that was out of the, Fulton area, yeah, Fulton, the Oswego area. The funny or sad story on this was back, this is probably maybe the early 2000s. I'm heading up north and took Route 3 out of Fulton. And yeah, and I'm looking, and out in the field, sitting in a field, is the orange peel.
No.
I couldn't believe it. I said, oh. So I might have a picture of it someplace, just sitting there. Well, then fast forward about 7 or 8 years, Steve DeSanto buys a dragster from a guy that lived in just outside of Fulton, in one of them little towns, and talking about, you know, the orange peel in the old days and stuff like. He says, I know the guy that's got it. He says he's restoring it.
Oh, good.
Oh.
So, but that was quite a while ago, and I haven't seen it show up anyplace. But the fact that it got saved was a good.
Yeah.
It is.
But
That's a piece of history.
But the thing I remember about that car, there wasn't one spring any place in that car. That thing was welded solid.
Oh boy.
When it moved like this. You know, there was no give any
So the
place.
slicks were the give.
Yeah, right. And then those are the slicks where if you hit them with a hammer, they come back and hit you in the head.
Oh, yeah.
You know, they were hard as a rock. So the pie cutters.
Yeah.
You know, so that was a great car. You know, and of course Gary King, he had that '69 Charger, 440 automatic,
Okay.
which he still has.
He still has.
Really?
Beautiful car.
Street
he
rides.
didn't bring it to the track this year, but he did last year.
Okay.
Drives it on the street.
Keeps changing the color.
Yeah.
It's been 3 colors that it shows at
Big
least.
swing.
Now it's blue now, I think.
Okay.
Yeah, real pretty blue. We had a
Like a B3
but
blue.
it was when he was restoring it. Of course, it was originally white.
Yeah.
In those days, Chrysler, you could buy anything you wanted as long as it was in the book. And you go down that's what he go down to Tiberio Motors. You know, if you went down there and wanted to buy, they called it a body in white.
Yeah.
It was just a body, and they would sell it to you.
To make race cars.
Yeah, make
Oh.
a race car.
Like they're doing now with, they did that for a while with the
Okay.
Challengers.
Okay.
Yeah, the drag pack Challengers. Yeah. And well, anyway, he bought that car to race originally, and he did for a while, and but then he put it back on the street when it was a few years ago when he was getting it restored. He brought it down to Bobby Watson to paint it, and
Did a nice job.
yeah, and we found out that it was going to be blue, so a bunch of us, the old hot rodders, got a petition up, brought it to Bobby, said, "Don't paint it blue. It was originally white. You got to paint it white." You know, of course, that didn't go anyplace. But
Yeah, now it's a 446 pack car.
he put a 6-pack
Yeah.
on it. Wow.
It's a beautiful car.
Yeah. Yeah.
I haven't seen him anywhere this year.
Last time I saw him was the show that's usually at Long Branch. They had it at Weedsport this year.
Yes,
You know,
Long Branch
I
show.
saw him there.
Yeah.
Other than that, of course, he moved to Syracuse.
Oh, I didn't know that.
Yeah.
Because he used to, I've seen him at all the Butlers last year and the Clyde Car Show that they had.
Yeah. He used to go to
He was with
Palmyra.
us, and
Yeah.
he didn't, I haven't seen him at all this year.
Yeah.
Maybe that's why he moved.
Yeah.
See, didn't you have, again, going back to film, did you guys have a Hemi Dart that ran down there?
That was Chuck Camellas.
Oh!
Oh, that's his?
Yeah,
He
that's
still
it.
has that car.
Still has it.
Oh, wow!
Yeah. Bought it brand new.
Yeah.
Still has it. Yeah. And that's the one he brought. He would race it down there.
And now they have Barracuda also.
120 of those or something, didn't it? Oh, he's got a Hemi Barracuda also?
Yeah.
His son races it now.
Yeah. That's not a factory Hemi. I mean, that's not a
Right.
real one, but his is a real one.
Okay,
Yeah. They only made 55 of them, I think.
okay.
So.
Sad part is there's not much that's original anymore. I mean, that car's been raced for 50 years,
Oh,
so
yeah, you gotta change stuff.
it's got a VIN number that's original.
Yeah.
Yeah. Hopefully everything he took off, it's on a shelf someplace. You
I would
know.
hope.
Yeah.
I figure those engines had hit those bodies pretty hard back in the day.
Well, now he's all fiberglass, this and that.
Yeah.
But he does the match racing.
Okay.
Yeah.
There was in Alfie Stout had a '63 Z11.
Wow.
Oh,
So he bought it from, I'm not sure what the situation was there. He either got it from a guy in Binghamton that was on the pro circuit, or the other way around. He sold it to, but anyway, he had it for a while. It was a red one, or he painted it red, and it was a Z11 '63.
I hear he's a wealth of information as well.
Yeah, yeah. He's in his 80s now, but
He is.
he remembers a lot of stuff.
Debbie went and met with him
Good.
last summer and got a lot of pictures of his trophies and whatnot because he has everything. 'Cause
Yeah.
Sounds like he was a pretty heavy hitter once
He
upon
was.
a time.
He was. He'll sit and there's a guy you got to sit on get a camera on. But he'll sit and talk to you all day, and because he's got and he was the Jackson era,
Okay.
so he can get you a lot because he covered both of them. You know, he raced right in through. He traded the '63 for that '66 Chevelle that he still has.
Yes.
That 396.
Yes, she
That's the red
has pictures of it. He
Yeah.
still has it.
In fact, I saw that car a couple of years ago. His granddaughter was driving it. So
Good
out
for
on the
her.
street.
good for
Yeah.
Yeah.
So, yeah, he still has that. And there's, like I said, there's a guy talked to you all afternoon with a lot of good stuff. But he was there for a while. Of course, Paulette used to come down with his brother, John, or not John, Phil was his brother. Of course, Phil went big time racing for a while.
Okay.
And
John's still racing Novas.
John still got his Nova. He hung with Camella.
Okay.
So he was there, and again, he was in the Jackson days, you know, that he moved in through. So, like I said, I'll think of 10 things on the way
Yeah.
home.
Okay. Now, my dad had this car that he just absolutely hated back in the day. He wanted to beat this car so bad because he never saw the car lose, and neither did I. King Cuda.
Oh, out of Webster.
Okay.
Yeah.
Now that was a factory Cuda package car, right?
It wasn't a Hemi car.
No, a Cuda package.
Oh, Cuda package. Yeah, right.
69. Yeah.
69 with
69.
the little
The
scoops,
little
the
scoops and the
440.
stripes. Yeah.
Yeah. It had red with gold lettering.
Yes.
Yeah, I think his name was Wessel, if I'm not mistaken. But anyway, Gary knew him personally. All I knew was he used to come down with his parents, and his father always was dressed